Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, we're back talking about our Gold Neonatal Conference coming up here 2025. I'm so excited. So many interesting topics, and I think presentations that are going to take your practice to a whole new level. Today, I am so fortunate to be sitting down with Chelsea Crow-Fuentes, who's going to be here with us at our Gold Neonatal Conference. And Chelsea's actually going to be speaking for 90 minutes live, and she's going to give us a live Q&A as well. So we're so grateful to get into sort of some really juicy content, I would say. But let's talk briefly. I'll just tell everyone who's listening online, the topic that Chelsea's going to be sharing on is nurturing the parental nervous system somatic therapy for the NICU journey. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us here today at Gold Neonatal.
Of course. Thank you so much, Fiona. It's really such a joy and honor to be here with you. I'm really looking forward to this conference and all the amazing speakers that are going to be coming up. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And yeah, we were talking about some of the other speakers that were coming, the interesting topics, the
Yes.
passion, and I think when people, and of course, when people come to their continuing education events, they are driven too. They're here sort of gifting themselves some additional education. I always say it's a promotion, but what a
Yes.
wonderful opportunity when you can bring people, especially folks that work with families in the NICU, because this is an area I feel still gets underserved, Chelsea. Do you see that
Absolutely.
too?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Under, underserved and also misunderstood a lot of
Right.
times.
Yeah.
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 And I know that this is going to be something that you get into, which I'm really excited about. You're going to take us on some
Yeah.
of sort of a bit of a journey and an understanding of not only our families, but of ourselves as well, which I think, of course, is so important. We need to kind of,
Yeah.
put those two connections together. But I have some things I really wanted to ask you today, just to kind of get a sort of a baseline, I guess, on what we're going to be
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about some of those emotional and nervous system challenges that parents are often facing on that NICU stay? What does that look like?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think a large part of it is that our nervous systems in the NICU are on survival mode. So
Right.
we're very much stuck in this place of, I just got to survive. I just got to get through this.
Hmm.
Um, and and so that's a challenge for the nervous system because we want to, especially I'll speak for myself as a clinician. I want to help re-regulate my client's nervous system, and
Right.
I want to help them find a place in healing. But when you're in the NICU, you don't know if it's going to be okay.
Hmm.
And so your system's actually doing you a service by staying in this mode of survival to just help you get through the day to day, the moment by moment. So it's actually a really intelligent part of the system
Mm.
that keeps you going through. So that is a challenge though, because it's hard on your body, it's hard on your mind, it's hard on your emotional state.
Right.
So that's something too, that just having compassion for that part of it, that this is
Yeah.
actually a really helpful part of my system in this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. This reminds me of a couple of things, and that is that, here we are serving our families and so desperately wanting to engage and involve them.
Yes.
However, they are often in this survival mode, which is protective of sorts, right? It protects
Yeah.
also the brain and the body. However, how I want to know now. I want to know all the details. It's
Yeah.
like you opened up this portal, but I want I do I'm imagining myself there, and with a
Mhm.
client and seeing kind of they've just come in and they're embracing kind of what's happening, the smells, the sounds, the sights, their infant that's been taken and separated from them.
Yeah.
Um, what is can you just tell me what would be the first thing that I could do to just help in some of that regulation of a parent knowing that
Yeah.
immediately I want to put them into an engagement mode of learning, because I think this is where we don't have a lot of time, Chelsea, on the
Yeah.
floor. Tell me, what could I do to help with that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, really meeting them where they are, being with them through it, not
Mm,
trying to just make it better. Because again, they don't know if it's going to be okay. We don't
right.
know if things are going to get better. So really just being with them, holding
Mm,
space for them to um, just allow themselves to maybe be present for just a moment to their own internal experience, whatever's
right.
present for them. Because, too, we in survival mode, we're not really caring for ourselves in that moment. So,
Mm,
if we could just hold space and almost be like a guardian of a parent in the NICU's nervous system for a point in time, how healing it could be to just allow them to, you know, be together in that space of we don't know if it's going to be okay. I'm here with you,
mm,
and I think that it seems so simple, and
right.
for me, I always have this desire to want to do more,
Yeah.
and really it comes back to just this basic point of holding space and time, because in the NICU you definitely have a lack of space and time. Your
Right.
system hasn't caught up to everything that's going on. So just being able to hold that for someone can be really powerful.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I think over the years, as practitioners, we have looked at how we fix things, how we make
Yeah.
things better. And so what we've learned today is that it's really now become this sort of subtle art of
Yes.
holding space. We've heard a lot, I think, about holding space, but what does that
Hmm.
look like? And you just
Right.
gave me an example there of, coming alongside. Sometimes I would love to go in. I am definitely an educator at heart, and I'd love to go in and just get it all out. I
Yeah.
I have this fear that if they don't know, how will they make a decision? But knowing when
Sure.
I peel it back at the end of the day, they can't hear me anyways.
Right.
Chelsea, they can't hear me. So it's going to be really valuable. So I love that you're sharing this with us right now. This is going to be so on point.
Yes. Yeah. I'm
So
excited
good.
to share more.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, okay, so now we envision this survival mode of the parent in the NICU. Can
Mhm.
you explain a little bit what somatic experiencing is? What's the
Yeah.
connection there?
Right. So somatic experiencing, when people think of it generally, they think of just a body-based approach, but it's
Hmm.
actually a body-mind approach, and it's very holistic. And when we think of anything happening to us that's traumatic, it's firstly a physiological event. It first happens to us physiologically, and thinking about traumatic birth, and just birth in general, right, is
Right.
is a very physiological event. And then trauma does cross that realm into emotional and cognitive as well, but initially it's this physiological event. So with somatic
Mm,
experiencing, that's where we start with
right.
the body. We use it. One of my trainers used to use this analogy, and I love it. She just says, whatever comes up, we just put in our body, use it as a washing machine, just kind of
Oh yeah.
wash it all through. Um, because the body is essentially a washing machine. And if we're able to enter in through the physiology, then we can start to process these higher order thinking. A lot of times our smart brain gets in the way of us really processing through trauma,
Mm,
because our body has this sort of inherent wisdom that knows what it needs, that we might not logically
right.
know or even be
Yeah.
able to make those connections, especially when we're in the midst of it and something
Mm,
ongoing, such as being in the NICU. So
mm,
simply just utilizing our bodies as a resource to process through, and to not overwhelm the system any more than it's already overwhelmed. A
yeah,
lot of
absolutely.
times,
It
yeah.
reminds me again of, that the body keeps the score. We know more
Mhm.
about that today. And not only are we dealing with the present moment, but we could be dealing with other things that are coming up as
Yes.
well. So it's so valuable to
Yes.
understand and respect that. I can see and imagine, also being a NICU mom as well, some of the
Mhm.
feelings that are traveling through me all the time, and the
Yeah.
people that I connected with, the people that were soft spoken, the people that held
Mhm.
space for me. Yeah, I mean, I can envision it. I hope that we can all continue to learn honestly in this space, because it's so
Yeah.
valuable, for each and every one of us to continue to build on this.
Yes.
There's always learning available here, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. And you
yeah.
touched on a great point too, as a lot of times in trauma, there's the absence of that safe, supportive other. So
Mm.
if we're able again to just show up for these parents and be that safe, supportive other and connect with them through it, then that could be really healing experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Wow, Chelsea Crow-Fuentes. Kudos to you. I can't wait to hear more. I've already seen a little bit of this presentation. I'm so excited. Getting to know you and learning
Yes.
and understanding you better has just really, I guess, already gifted me. And I know that you will be such a gift to so many people at our Gold Neonatal Conference. And again, Chelsea will be talking about nurturing the parental nervous system, somatic therapy for the NICU journey. Chelsea, thank you so much for sitting down with me
Yes.
today. It's been absolutely wonderful chatting with you.
Absolutely. I can't wait to continue
Good.
this conversation. Yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous. Yes, we'll be able to continue this conversation over on goldneonatal.com. You can head over there right now to reserve your seat, not only for this presentation, which will be 90 minutes, a great deep dive into this topic, but also for all of our other presentations as well. We'll look forward to seeing everybody online. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Bye bye for now.